Please excuse the late upload. I've had a late night last night. I say may. It was a bit of an epic night. I don't even know where to start with this video. I've just watched the draw, by the way. I thought we'd watch the draw. Then have a little bit more to talk about, because the draw, what draw, I hear you ask? Well, that's the quarter-finals of the Europa League, or as we call it on this channel, the Europos Cupos. Can't believe it. I don't even know where to start. Talk about last night, talk about the draw, Olympique Lyonnais. Bring it on. Honestly, bring it on. I don't mean that in an arrogant way. What is going on with West Ham at the moment, by the way? I loved David Moyes, his comments. Sorry, I'm all over the place at the moment. David Moyes' comments. I think he was asked, somebody, an interviewer said, the West Ham fans are getting really excited. He said, well, they better get used to it. He says there's going to be more nights like this. Oh, wow, that's a really good thing to say. I really like that. Apparently, listening to Declan Rice's interview as well, he said that Moyes went in at half-time, said, I think we got this. Brilliant. I love it. I absolutely love it. What a night that was. I've got to be honest with you, I've had to go and re-watch the game, just because I don't really remember very much of it at all. What I do remember is the atmosphere. And it was a really weird one. The boats were heaving. Visited the boats before to have a drink or two. Got to say a massive thank you to Callum, who put some money behind the bar as well there, which was very, very nice of him. And he's over in Australia, and he was saying lovely things about all the Aussie West Ham fans over there. And so yeah, thank you very much, Callum, mate. The boats were heaving, but it was really the mood everybody was in that was really quite telling. Everyone was very positive, very upbeat, really looking forward to the game. And everyone had got there early. You got the impression that people had sort of snuck off early from work, booked half a day or whatever the case may be. And it was just a really good vibe. The sun was out. I'll try and incorporate a little bit of footage on here so as you can see it. And then the build-up to the game itself, the teams coming out, the walk to the stadium, just the atmosphere was building. And it was the first time I had ever heard, the crowd when I was outside. Can you hear it? So, and that, it couldn't have been, it must have only been about a third full, I reckon. And you could still hear the crowd from outside. Got in there, and I've got to say to them, they'd put on a real show in there. They'd done the stadium up, the lights, and flames, and also pyrotechnics going off. And it was really interesting because I watched it, and having watched it back, because I walked in there, I thought, wow, this is amazing, this is impressive. Right behind one of the goals as well, because I was a bit slow, I couldn't book my normal ticket. And right near the goal, and I remember looking around thinking, wow, this is impressive. And when I just watched it on telly there, the referee before the game, where the two captains shake hands and the coin toss and all the rest of it, the referee stood there with his linesman, the fourth official, whatever, and you can see him, he's sort of looking around. He's looking around like that. And you can see he's probably thinking, I didn't really realise West Ham were this big. We had the look, it's going to sound a little bit arrogant, a little bit preposterous, maybe. We had the look of like a European superpower last night. I mean, we seemed like a big club. It was really interesting. You sort of look at the stadium when it was like that, and there's a lot of seats sort of taped up and whatnot, with tarps over them. Yet still, as I understand it, there were over 52,000 just West Ham fans in there. That's not including the Sevilla fans. And well, it was really amazing. What a noise. And if you go and watch it again, look at the referee do that, but also, like when they're lining up, all the players line up before they do the handshakes, and the camera's panning along them. Look at Declan Rice. Declan Rice, you can see he's soaking it all in. He's looking at the stands. He's there doing this. You can tell Declan is really, really proud of how many people have turned up. So it was totally and utterly amazing. What I really liked as well, by the way, was the way that the Sevilla fans had been. Obviously, they didn't have enough to buy the full allocation. There wasn't enough travelling fans, so we stuck them right up the top. We tucked them away, really, and it's something that that other clubs do to us. That's just what happens when you go to these places. So it was good to see us do it. Certainly it was really. I thought that was really, really important, and certainly on one aspect, I felt it was the stadium and the club probably working quite close together. Oh my word! I'm telling you now, a lot of drinks went flying when we scored. An awful lot of drinks went flying. In terms of analysis and whatnot, look, I've just watched the game back. Souček looked sensational, I've got to say. He really did look back to his best in terms of being a goal threat. Certainly liberated by what Declan's doing. But even watch the start of that game, one of the first things that happens is Declan goes on a dribble. We had intent. We took it to him. And over both legs, I thought in Sevilla as well, and that one, over both legs, I felt that we created the best chances. I thought we were the best team over both legs. I really did. And it's not me being, well, maybe, of course I'm biased. Maybe I'm a little bit blind or me rose-tinted spectacles on or whatever. But I felt like we were the better team. In many respects, I'm probably a little bit, looking at the draw with Olympique Lyonnais, I'm probably a little bit more worried that it's not one of the big teams. Now, if we go through that, then we would probably face Barcelona in the semis. I don't want to get ahead of myself. I really don't. Olympique Lyonnais, I don't think they're doing great in the French league. I think they're 10th or something like that. But clearly they must be all right. Otherwise we wouldn't have got through in the last round. They're not bad, these. Some quality players come out of France. It will be a test. But I said this before the Sevilla game, and I will say it again now. We have beaten Man City this season. All right, it was in the cup, it was on penalties. But that was our second team at the time, beat Man City. We've beaten Man United, we've beaten Liverpool, we've beaten Chelsea. We are not a bad team at all. And as good as Olympique Lyonnais may be, we used to play in these. And I think that's really what you get with the Premier League now. There's such good teams in there. You're unlikely now to face someone in European competition that's a higher standard than you would face in the Premier League. Let's be fair. It's not like European competition. The Europa League is teeming with opposition who are loads better than Man City, Liverpool. We know we play against these players. Our defenders play against top-class attackers week in, week out. And we are a tough nut to crack. A clean sheet as well. I think that Dawson is a real hero. Zuma is, I think there was certainly an attempt to derail. I don't even want to talk about it. Bearing in mind the news that had happened with Zuma the day before, I thought there was a bit of an attempt to derail that. He's been magnificent since all that nasty business happened. He really has. I'm so thrilled. Sorry, it's all scattergun, this video. So thrilled for Ben Johnson. Absolutely buzzing, by the way, for him to play so well in both legs, and rightly so gets called up for the England under-21s. He really deserves it. I hope he starts. I absolutely hope he starts. He can play where he wants, can't he, really? Left back, right back, doesn't matter. I really do, and I hope that's sort of vindication for him, for how well he's played. You look at it, he's playing at a top-level tournament. He's just played against Sevilla, both legs. Absolutely brilliant. I don't know what's going on with West Ham at the moment. It's really hard to put it into context and to, I think, even summarise. I tend not to be lost for words, generally, as a rule. But for me to summarise what a vibe there was last night, quite what an occasion. Occasion's definitely the right word, actually. It was, is unbelievable. And, I hope, I will try and I'll try and cover it a little bit better next time in the return leg than I did. I'll put a little bit of footage in. Even that's not going to do it justice. I know there's so many of you that watch the videos because you tell me in the comments that can't go to the games. So I feel like I need to sort of tell you exactly what it was like in there, and I don't think I'm doing a very, very good job at all. But it was very, very much so that everybody had come together. Everybody as one. There was a massive feel-good factor in there. It did have a little bit of a vibe of the last game at Upton Park about it, really, in terms of everybody sort of being together. I wonder, what I said about the referee looking round, thinking, my goodness, this is quite a big club, actually, isn't it? I do wonder if Sevilla rocked up and thought, hold on a second, we weren't expecting this. This because the stadium is big, you know, whether you like it, look, the seats are too far away from the pitch. You all know what I think about that. Don't like those big gaps, the big trampolines between the two stands. I think it's ridiculous. And the gap between the dugout. Oh, David Boyes probably needs to get a taxi from the dugout to stand at pitch side, doesn't he? We know what's wrong with the stadium. I've told you it many, many times. But in terms of the grand scale and the size of it, I do wonder if Sevilla walked in there and thought, oh my word, look at that. Amazing. Anyway, listen, what I'll do is I will play you out at the end of the video with a video that Tony sent me, which was just the chorus of bubbles from his seat, which is basically where I normally sit. As I say, I was a bit slow, so I couldn't book my normal seats. I will make sure I do so for the return leg. Unbelievable, not return leg, you know, the next round, the quarterfinals, of course, against Lyon. Unbelievable. Well, what an evening. I had quite a nice night actually. But you know what? We enjoyed it. Everybody enjoyed it, and I think if you're a West Ham fan, you're going to be on cloud nine today. It was amazing. Honestly, the walk back from the stadium to the station, even on the train. Actually, to be fair, I fell asleep on the train, but up until the point I fell asleep on the train, magnificent. What a day! What a day! What a time to be a West Ham fan. It's been quite a couple of seasons, really, hasn't it? Don't want it to end now. Of course we don't. We'll talk about Tottenham. Well, myself and G have already recorded the Tottenham preview, so you can have a look at that later on, if you so choose. I'll be back tomorrow, hopefully with a slightly more coherent assessment of what I saw last night, and what I can remember at least. But I've definitely got some some views about us standing in the European game. A weird sentence. Never thought I'd say that as a sentence. Particularly just having watched the draw. I don't think anyone will want to play us at the moment. I really don't. I think West Ham as a team are a massive pain in the arse. That we are not an easy team to play against. So anyway, it's soon. A couple of weeks, isn't it? I think it's a couple of weeks. It's the 7th. I think the next leg is on the 7th. The next round is on the 7th. Home game first, I believe. Brilliant. Anyway, I'll catch up with you tomorrow.